Hi everyone. For today's book review, we're going to go into the skies over Latin America and we're going to check out this book, Axis Aircraft in Latin America, written by Amaru Tincopa and Santiago Rivas. I apologize if my pronunciation is not 100%. This is quite the tome. It is a decent hardcover book and all the pages are nice and thick so they can really absorb all the beautiful glossy black and white photos and sharp color side profiles that you're seeing up here, which is the quality that you expect from Hikoki Publications. And just as some of their previous books, this volume follows the same format. What the authors have done is look at each country within Latin America and investigated the various types of aircraft that were operated, be it either German, Italian, and in a few cases even Japanese. So we're looking at aviation primarily during the 1930s. Expect to see plenty of the Junkers 52, plenty of Breda, Caproni aircraft as well, of course the Dor Naval, and a lot of other lesser known manufacturers that do tend to pop up, which makes the information about their planes and the service even more exotic. The format is replicated within each chapter. Each chapter looks at each individual countries, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, etc., etc., etc. Which aircraft were used in civil service, which aircraft were used in military aviation, and the adventures that occurred thereupon. Were there any disasters during the turbulent conflicts that occurred on the continent? Were some of these aircraft used in combat, and if so, how effective were they were? With some countries whose economic means were fairly limited, there's also a fascinating focus about how these planes, which were quite sophisticated, how were they maintained, and what did the poor ground maintenance crews have to do to make sure that these planes were continuously airworthy. A plethora of photographs which you're seeing up here, and you get a combination of everything from your standard publicity shots to candid personal film images. You have the aircraft, their beautiful glory, some of them having a bad day, having had an oopsie, and some of them, even more remarkably, having been abandoned and left to decay. At the very end of the book, there's also a chapter about which planes have been preserved, which is fantastic to see. And overall, it is just an illuminating, informative, and interesting read that is shining a valuable light on this continent. We tend to not get a lot, especially in English, about aviation in Latin America, and particularly about a multitude of these fascinating craft and how they were used. And of course, all these black and white photos are complemented by a selection of exquisite, pristinely reproduced side profile drawings, which again you're seeing up here and done in color, so you can get some of these beautiful color schemes to be absorbed by your retinas. I can't speak any more highly. This book is fantastic for what it does and opens a door to plenty of information about not only these aircraft types but also aviation within Latin America. This book is going to appeal to anyone who's interested in pre-World War II aviation, who's interested in aviation within Latin America, or wishes to simply learn a lot more about pre-World War II aviation and aviation within Latin America. And if you're planning to visit any of these countries and have interest in aviation, then check out the last chapter so you can hunt down and find the museums where some of the preserved aircraft are. Without a doubt, this book is a 5 out of 5 captain's hats. If you love aviation, particularly pre-World War II, then check out this book. Plenty of fun, fascinating information about aviation within Latin America during the 1930s. Check it out.